8:45. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. Here is the news read by J. Yogaraj. First headlines. A token system to distribute fuel from tomorrow. Schools in Colombo and other major cities to remain closed next week. Circular issued restricting the calling of officers to government offices. 3-hour power cuts from June 27th to July 3rd. 2 ministers will leave for Russia tomorrow to hold talks with Russian high officials to purchase oil at a lower price. 4 injured after fire breaks out at a house. And those are the headlines. Minister of Power and Energy Kanchana Wijesekara says that the token system to distribute fuel is to be introduced from tomorrow, June 27th. Speaking during a press briefing in Colombo today, he said the decision was taken at a meeting of the Security Council chaired by President and Prime Minister yesterday. However, the minister requested the public not to wait in queues at filling stations until the next fuel shipment arrives, as the stocks of fuel held by the Ceylon Petroleum Corporation are being distributed only for essential purposes. He further stated that the exact date of arrival for the next fuel shipment cannot be confirmed as of the moment. The Security Council had met last night on the instruction of the President and Prime Minister. Accordingly, they have decided that from tomorrow, if there are people queuing up at filling stations, the security forces, including the Army, Air Force, Navy and Police, will be deployed at every filling station from tomorrow to give everyone in the queue a token in order to streamline the process. He said that the token will be issued after obtaining their telephone number so that it cannot be changed. The minister said that by the day after tomorrow, they will not be able to deliver to every filling station until they receive the next fuel shipment. Until then, he said they intend to inform the consumers in order of the tokens issued when the fuel browser is delivered. The Ministry of Education says that the schools in Colombo zone and other major cities will remain closed next week from June 27th to July 1st. However, the ministry said the rural schools can function as normal on Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday during next week. Accordingly, issuing a notice, the ministry informed that the educational activities in the schools during the week from 27th June to 1st July 2022 will be conducted according to the following manner. Schools where students and teachers are not having transport difficulties must be conducted normally, just as the rural schools were held from 20th June to 24th June. And if there are teachers facing the transport difficulties, the principal will arrange a flexible timetable for them without considering from their personal leave. The urban schools which were not held last week must be conducted 3 days a week, Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday from 7:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. The discretion of deciding the number of days conducting primary classes in these schools lies with the principal. For the absent days of the students, the learning activities will be continued through online teaching assignments, home-based activities. Actions will be taken not to consider the absent days of the teachers due to transport difficulties as personal leave. The Ministry of Education extends its gratitude to the teachers and principals who contributed to conduct the schools even amidst of transport difficulties from 20th June to 24th June. This news comes to you from Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. Minister of Power and Energy Kanchana Wijesekara assures steps will be taken to provide the necessary stocks of furnace oil to produce electricity. However, there will be a slight increase on the power cut schedule this week, the minister added. Accordingly, 3-hour power cuts will be imposed for the next few days. The minister made these remarks at a media conference held in Colombo today. Addressing the media personnel, the minister further said that the Sapukaskanda oil refinery plant has been closed temporarily. The plant will resume its operations once a crude oil ship is arrived. Meanwhile, the minister said talks are being conducted with other foreign embassies to purchase oil at a lower price. 2 ministers will leave for Russia tomorrow to hold talks with Russian high officials in this regard. The Ministry of Public Administration has issued a circular directing the heads of the government institutions to call only the minimum and essential staff for day-to-day services until further notice. The circular dated 26 June has been issued by the Secretary to the Ministry of Public Administration, Home Affairs and Provincial Councils, MMPK Mayadunne. In view of the difficulties faced by the people in getting the day-to-day transport facilities provided, it is informed to give priority until further notice to call only the minimum staff essential to carry out the daily duties of the institution without interruption to the service stations, and to allow officers to stay at home at all times possible by obtaining their services online when the decision is made to call the officers to service stations by the secretaries to the ministries, chief secretaries of the provinces or heads of the departments. Relevant heads of the institutions or division heads should ensure that decisions regarding the calling of officers to institutions that deal directly with the public are made with the advice and close supervision of the relevant secretaries to the ministries. The Land Reclamation Commission says the Commission has decided to provide land titles to the people who reside in the lands under the purview of the Commission. It was decided to provide these lands for cultivation purpose on a short and a long-term basis. In addition, another process will be carried out to earn foreign exchange through the lease of these lands. 4 persons have been injured and hospitalized after a fire broke out in a residence at Kahatudu, police said. The police said that a couple and their 2 children have been admitted to the Home Agam Hospital for treatment for injuries. The blaze had caused damages to the house in question, while the exact cause of the fire is yet to be determined. Kahatudu police are conducting further investigations. And that's local news.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhaloka Vedamahatma.
The Public Utilities Commission of Sri Lanka, PUCSL, says it has approved power cuts of 3 hours per day from June 27th to July 3rd. Accordingly, the power cuts are to be imposed as follows. Groups A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, 1 hour and 40 minutes during daytime and 1 hour and 20 minutes during the night. Group CC, 2 hours from 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. except on July 2nd and 3rd. Group MNO XYZ, 3 hours from 5 a.m. to 5 a.m. to 8 a.m. except on July 2nd and 3rd. And that was top news.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhaloka Vedamahatma.
In Watchlight, Minister of Energy Kanchana Wijesekara said Friday has been allocated for the health officials to fill fuel to their vehicles at the selected fuel filling stations island-wide. Accordingly, 85 filling stations are provided with this facility. The health service has been identified as one of the essential services. The selected fuel stations are provided with 6,600 litres of petrol and diesel, the minister added. Meanwhile, the minister also said the scheduled fuel ship carrying 40,000 metric ton will be delayed further due to technical reasons. And that was Watchlight. And moving on to world news headlines, South African police to investigate nightclub deaths. Ukraine war, UK joins ban on imports of Russian gold. Huge fire engulfs ferry in Philippines. And those are the headlines of the world news. South African authorities are investigating the deaths of at least 22 young people in a nightclub. The victims were found thrown across floors and tables of a tavern in the coastal town of East London. The bodies were taken to mortuaries where post-mortem examinations including toxicology tests will seek to establish a cause of the death. The UK, US, Canada and Japan will ban imports of Russian gold in an effort to hit Moscow's ability to fund the war in Ukraine. The UK PM said the move would strike at the heart of the Putin's war machine. Gold exports were worth of £12.6 billion to Russia in 2021, and the UK says their importance has increased since the invasion has rushed to buy bullion to avoid sanctions. A fire engulfed a ferry carrying 165 people in the central Philippines, said, and rescuers now say all but 2 have been brought to safety. 1 person is confirmed to have died and 1 is missing. The Philippine Coast Guard says Mama Mary Clow was sailing between the islands of Bohol and Leyte. And that's world news. And moving on to development news, Sri Lankan Airlines launched a travel agents portal at its recently concluded Agents Appreciation Awards that provides comprehensive and up-to-date information on assorted topics that are essential to travel agents. A brainchild of the Sri Lankan Airlines or Sri Lanka sales team, the travel agents portal was founded up upon the significance that the airline places on travel agencies and their contribution to the travel and tourism trade. And that was development news.
Sports News is brought to you by
Sampath Bank. We present your future.
Cricket, England wicketkeeper Ben Stokes has been ruled out of the final 2 days of the third test against New Zealand after testing positive for COVID-19. Stokes, 29, did not keep wicket on day 3 at Headingley on Saturday because of a stiff back, with the Johnny Bairstow taking the gloves in his place. England say after further medical assessment he has tested positive for coronavirus. Kent's Sam Billings will now replace Stokes as a COVID-19 substitute. And that was cricket news or sports news.
Cash through NSP globally and win wonderful gifts locally. From October 1st, 2021 to December 31st, 2022. Remit a minimum of $100 or an equivalent amount in any foreign currency 3 times through NSB U Trust.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
The Ceylon Tobacco Company says that sales of cigarettes have increased by 5% in the quarter ended March 31st compared to the same quarter in 2021. In the company's financial statement for the first quarter ended March 31st, 2022, the company reported a profit after tax of 4.18 billion rupees for the first quarter. And that was business news.
Business News, sponsored by
Cash through NSP globally and win wonderful gifts locally. Will you be the lucky winner of the NSP Golden Jubilee? 50 gold sovereigns for the top prize winner of the NSP Golden Jubilee. Scooters for the 10 second prize winners. iPhones for the 10 third prize winners. Mountain bikes for the 29 fourth prize winners. From October 1st, 2021 to December 31st, 2022. Remit a minimum of $100 or an equivalent amount in any foreign currency 3 times through NSB U Trust.
Economic News, courtesy of
I bought my daughter a laptop for her work by managing my finances. Whatever the expenses may be, I can't afford to miss out on life's special moments like her birthday or our anniversary. So you need to invest to make your family's future flourish.
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibilities. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. NOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. NOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act number 42 of 2011.
Despite the current economic crisis in Sri Lanka, Indonesia is still keen to enter into a preferential trade agreement PTA with Sri Lanka. Indonesian ambassador to Sri Lanka, Dewi Gustina Tobing, said at a National Chamber of Commerce organized by bilateral trade discussion event yesterday. Speaking to media after the event, she said that some progress has been made in this regard and they are very keen to follow this up further. And that was economic news.
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibility. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. NOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. NOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act number 42 of 2011.
Finally, in the weather report, the Met Department says showery condition over the southwestern part of the island, western Sabaragamu provinces and in Kandy, Nuwara, Galle and Matra districts is expected to enhance slightly from today. Showers or thundershowers will occur at times in western Sabaragamu and northwestern provinces and in Kandy, Nuwara, Galle and Matra districts. Fairly heavy showers above 50 millimeters may occur at some places in Sabaragamu province and in Kandy and Nuwara districts. Showers or thundershowers will occur at a few places in Uva province and in Ampara and Batticaloa districts during the afternoon or night. This weather report was published this evening at 7:30 p.m. Further details could be obtained by visiting the official website of the department. Meanwhile, the International Weather Forecast website AccuWeather.com reports that the day's weather was cloudy with occasional showers. Today's daytime temperature was observed to be 30 degrees centigrade. And there will be light showers in many places in Colombo district in the night. Tonight's temperature will be around 26 degrees centigrade and there will be scattered showers in selected spots late in the night. The ground temperature would be around 27 degrees centigrade at the time of this news broadcast. The air quality index AQI is 17, which is fair air condition in Colombo. The air quality is generally acceptable for most individuals. And that was weather reports. So before we wind up this news podcast, let's look at the main points once again. Token system to distribute fuel from tomorrow. Schools in Colombo and other major cities to remain closed next week. Circular issued restricting the calling of officers to government offices. 3-hour power cuts from June 27th to July 3rd. 2 ministers will leave for Russia tomorrow to hold talks with Russian high officials to purchase oil at a lower price. 4 injured after fire breaks out at a house. News overseas, South African police investigate nightclub deaths. In sports, Ben Foakes out of third test after testing positive for COVID-19. And with that, we conclude this night news bulletin of Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.